When we're preparing for a thru hike or a long backpacking trip, a lot of times we get into the habit of thinking, okay, I'll take this gear, I'll have this in my first aid kit, I'll eat this kind of food, and that should cover me for the trail. It's very important to prepare, but I think we also need to think while we're on the trail, what problems are coming up and what we can do to combat those. Every week on the AT, I sat down and recorded sort of a video journal, and I always ask myself, what's one thing I can improve next week? I hope this helps future hikers, whether that's on the AT or just in general, have a bit better idea of what to expect, and to get into the habit of thinking, what's one thing I can do to make this hike better for myself? Here's week 1.
Next question I want to ask myself every week is, what problem are you hoping to solve? And right now, that's sleeping. I usually don't fall asleep until 10, 11, 12 even, and then I wake up throughout the night. Sometimes I listen to Netflix shows that I have saved. Sometimes I don't listen to anything, and then that just I just keep thinking about, oh, I hate that I'm awake right now, so that keeps me up. I'm taking melatonin, but that only works so well. Really, I'm just hoping that it kind of works itself out on its own. It's not as much as I would like to sleep, but it's definitely better than it was. The problem I'm trying to solve this week is blisters. I'm pretty sure I'm going to send my shoes back home and ask my parents to send me some breathable shoes that I have. It always seems like the blisters I have are about to go away, but then new ones form. So I'm thinking if I switch to a different pair of shoes, hopefully won't have any more blisters. I haven't gotten those yet, but still I have been getting less blisters. I didn't really do anything. I guess it just took 2 weeks for my feet to toughen up and get used to those shoes. And in a few days I'm gonna get those new shoes, so my feet will have to figure it out again. I forgot to say what I'm going to work on next week, and what it is distracting myself better while I'm walking, because right now I'm always like checking the map every couple minutes, and I need to just get in the zone and get walking, get my mind thinking about something else. I did pretty good on that actually. Even though I forgot I was working on that, it just naturally happened that I found ways to entertain my brain. I've been thinking about Halloween costumes recently. That's fun. Walking with people on purpose and talking to them is always really interesting. Singing songs in my head too, like thinking, okay, how does the first verse start? Okay, what's the lyric? How does the refrain? What's the second verse? On and on. You know, it's like karaoke in your head. The problem I would like to solve next week, I'm not really sure, because it seems like everything's going good. I guess having a clear picture of, am I walking with people or am I trying to go my own pace? When I started the trail, I was thinking I'm going my own pace, but these past couple days, sometimes I don't get started very early if I'm having a good conversation with people. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to want and sit and hang out and have good conversations with people. That's part of the reason I'm here too. I just mean I want to always have the bigger picture in mind. I didn't really find a solution to that. Well, I don't know even if it's a problem, just something I was trying to work on. But I'm just taking it one day at a time. Like, we got to camp at 3 p.m. today, and I was like, man, I could be spending this time hiking and gaining miles, getting further. But at the same time, it's also so awesome to be laughing around the campfire with people that you aren't meeting for the first time. The problem I would like to work on next week, there's not really a standout thing that's going wrong, but I think I want to get better at carrying the right amount of food, because it seems like my food bag is always so full I can't close it, but I'm like, oh, I wish I had tuna, oh, I wish I had cheese. I need to finesse the food that I get a little more. Honestly, I'll never have just the right amount of food in my food bag. I didn't really solve that problem, but I don't think it's realistic that I'm going to know exactly what food I need. And it's hard to get a variety of foods too, because when you're in the grocery store, you're usually with a group. People are going to wait on you if you take a really long time. So you're just like trying to hurry, just get this, get this, get this, get your usual stuff. And there's not a lot of experimentation, at least not for me. The problem I need to solve next week is this poison ivy stuff that's going on. I don't know if you can tell, but I've been leaning back, itching my leg. Oh gosh, I gotta stop. It's either gonna pass or I'm gonna go to a doctor. It'll be fine. I was kind of glad that I just waited to see how it progressed instead of immediately going to the doctor when I noticed it, because it's going away on its own. I think this is the least severe case I've ever had, and it's going away. I'm getting more mosquito bites, and that's really annoying, but poison ivy is going away on its own. What I want to work on next week, in a similar vein, would be my allergies. Oh my gosh, my eyes are so itchy. I'm constantly sneezing and blowing my nose. I'm taking like tablets for it, but it's still like, it's not working that strong. Oh my gosh, when I woke up this morning, I could not stop scratching my eyes. I was like, this is terrible. A few days, actually most days, I didn't take my allergy meds I've been taking, and I've been very like coughing, sneezing, runny nose. So I did not solve that problem, but good to experiment at least. And I think next week I'll keep working on that too. How are we gonna deal with these allergies? I blow my nose so much, you all. It's really gross. They haven't improved. The stuff I got at the gas station didn't really help. I think it was Zyrtec. It was expensive. I just got some more allergy meds when I went to Kroger, so I don't know. Maybe the new stuff will help, but it's just one of those things I'm gonna have to keep trying until I find something that works. The resupply before Glasgow, Daleville, I got some allergy meds and it's been much better. Next week, the issue I'm going to concentrate on is healing up these burn wounds. They are looking better. I'm going to be as careful as I can, keeping them clean, putting on the burn gel. Last week I mentioned I was trying to take care of my burns from when I poured boiling water on myself by accident, okay? PSA, make sure you don't use a backpacking stove on a table. Always sit it on the ground because it can tip over. Anyway, my burns are doing so much better. I was bandaging them up at the beginning of the week still, and then when we were awkward blazing, I was just wearing my long pants over my legs so they wouldn't get any sun. The burns have stopped hurting. The pinkness is turning to brownness, and I'm on the mend. There's definitely less need to be delicate about it now, but that's what I'm going to work on for the coming week. Keeping taking care of them, even though the healing process is already faster than what I was expecting. There's no pink left. Everything is brown. Nothing hurts anymore. Something I'm going to work on moving forward to next week is stretching more. Every time I sit down or squat or move, basically, I feel like I need to make a noise, like, because I'm just so stiff and sore. Yeah, my body is not feeling good, as you would expect after walking 1,000 miles, but I want to take care of myself the best way I can, and to do that, I need to stretch more. I have stretched more. It's not as much as I need to, but it is more. What I'm going to work on next week, I think I mentioned this before, but I was having some pain in my tummy, and I really need to, maybe that'll go away, maybe I need to figure out what it is. I'm hoping it just goes away on its own. They went from like my lower abdomen area up to like, it was a sharp pain like where my rib cage is, and at one point my chest felt tight. I didn't figure out what the problem was. I tested a few things but it didn't go away. I am going to keep working on trying to figure out my stomach issues next week. On Sunday of this week, that just kind of went away on its own. I think it was bathroom issues, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I also noticed myself having problems with my backpack adjustments. I don't know what changed, what I did differently, but all of a sudden it was just super uncomfortable. So I've started from the beginning of every single day, loosening every single strap, and then, putting it on. Hip belt exactly where it's supposed to be, arm straps exactly where it's supposed to be, load lifters. I'm just gonna keep on tailoring my backpack to fit me as best as possible because it's been pretty uncomfortable lately. And I guess I did. I just kept trying a bunch of things and now I guess I got it good enough. I still have a pinching between my shoulder blades every now and then, and I have to do the whole thing over again, which is frustrating because I'm like, why can't the straps just stay in place? And it always feel okay, but whatever. I don't think there's a perfect backpack out there for me, and I'm just gonna have to make the one I got work. One of my friends pointed out recently that I don't eat that much, and that's because I'm not hungry when I'm hot and sweaty, but like, we are through hiking, we do need to eat a lot of calories, so that's what I'm gonna work on next week. I've kind of done that. Yeah, now that I think about it, especially with deli blazing, I've had a kind of big meal I bought myself a meal for lunch and then had a north side. So I think I'm getting better, little by little, at eating more. My goal for next week is to work on putting on more Picardin and hopefully finding a bug net. It's so frustrating walking sometimes because bugs will be in your eyes and you'll have to be like having your eyes half open trying to like see what's in front of you, but so frustrating. I did that, but I think bug spray just frustrates me even more because it doesn't always work. Bugs still come at you and find any little place you might have missed, and plus with the squirt bottle I have, you have to hold it upright, but to spray it on my legs I want to hold it like this. It's just really complicated and just frustrates the heck out of me. What I'm gonna work on next week is not losing my cool, not freaking out, staying positive. Yes, there are mosquitoes. Yes, they're gonna bite you. Yes, I just found one in my hair. Honestly, right now, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to accomplish that goal because it's just so hard. And I did that because there were less bugs, but I still didn't really keep my cool as much as I wanted to. Next week, I'm gonna try again to not freak out in general and just relax and enjoy this last third of the trail. Of course, I did not do that, but that's okay. I remember when I did my road trip of the lower 48 states, one of the things I learned from that was you can be happy, content, okay with life, and going through rough times, not the best, wish things were different at the same time. So what I'm thinking for next week, my goal should be is to make moments of happiness happen. Like this morning when we were sitting on the road drinking coffee, maybe I can aim to watch a sunset at a really cool place. I'm not going to be able to be the chill, cool girl that never gets upset, but I think I can also make fun times happen in addition to the hard times, and my experience is going to be better because of that. A lot of times I forgot about that goal, honestly, but there was so much like treats and fun moments that definitely happened, and I think I'm going to keep doing that next week. That's going to be my goal again too, because I know like this slack packing in hotels, it's not a common occurrence. And when I go back to having a more normal week where I'm camping every night, hiking bigger miles, then I need to keep looking for that too. And honestly, I forgot all about that. So I did not accomplish it. But moving forward to next week, my goal is when I can hike as hard as I can. Don't get discouraged by the terrain and not like push myself to my breaking point, but just like give it my all. In the moments where that can't happen, keep the patience, keep the understanding that this is just the nature of the beast. It's very touch and go. I guess I did that. I was kind of on the fence about waiting for weather that one day, but in the end, we got that beautiful day on Mount Washington, and like I said, that was my favorite part of the week. It was worth it, and I think I'm going to keep that goal for next week too. You just have to have that level of acceptance for you can have a vision for the trail, you can be ambitious, but it doesn't always turn out that way, and the less upset you can get, the more zen you can be, the better. I guess I sort of did that. It was definitely a hard choice that one day when it was really hot and I was like, I just can't go on. So that was a really hard choice because I know I am really trying to push, but it's just, you're never gonna get both things of what you want. So I guess I sort of accomplished that goal as much as I could. A problem I've been having is that sometimes when I'm taking a break or getting started in the morning, someone will say, 5 more minutes, or can we just stay, have 1 cup of coffee and then we'll go. And then I notice myself sometimes getting to my destination for the day after dark or something, and I'm like, man, I gotta not give in when people say 5 more minutes, and I know, no, I really need to go. I just need to not be as much of a pushover, which is a goal I've been working on my whole life, really. I think I did that. I did that for the most part, but when you're hiking with other people, you can't just only do what you want to do. So I learned my lesson about, like, it's not all about just sticking to your plan. You have to also see what everyone else wants to do. The problem I noticed myself having is just the same as I've been having for a long time, just walking slow. So I want my goal to be getting up early, and you know, it's really hard. I've been doing it sometimes lately, but this coming week I want to get up early the majority of the days, like be on trail by 7 that early. That in fact did not happen because I took 2 zeros, but also just because I forgot, and getting out of bed early feels like punishing yourself, and sometimes I just gotta take it easy on me. My goal for next week is to just have no expectations. I am expecting to get to Katahdin on Friday or Saturday. The last thru hike I did was Numupoyo, also called the John Muir Trail. And when I finished that, I had a lot of expectation for like the feeling at the end, and just something was off, and I really, maybe I was in my head too much, but it just didn't feel like I pictured, and the experience suffered because of that. And I'm like, okay, this time I'm not going in with any expectations. Whatever will be, will be. I'm sure it'll be cool, but I'm not trying to predict the ways how it's going to be cool. I don't think I really did that. The last night of the 100-mile wilderness, when I was really hoping, okay, so many people are going to be at this shelter, we're going to have the happy AT vibes that we had the night after that, but I was expecting it that night, and when it didn't happen, I was heartbroken. So I did not really accomplish my goal of not having any expectations and just taking what came, but it's kind of hard not to when you're at the end of a huge 6-month experience that you've been thinking about for most of your life. For next week, there are 82 miles Smoke and I are planning to go back to cover that we skipped because we wanted to finish with people we had been hiking with, like Pac-Man, and just the bubble of people that started in March. A lot of them were finishing at that time. So we figured it was worth it to skip ahead, but now we have to go back. It's like we graduated, but we're going back to summer school. So my goal for next week, I guess, to just pack out good food, acknowledge that it's going to be hard because it's the big lows, embrace the hardness, embrace the suck if I need to, but also embrace spending time with Smoke, staying at shelters, walking alone in the wilderness, seeing the fall colors, all the good things that'll happen too. I guess I'm doing that. It's hard, but I guess so. What I want to do next week, which will hopefully be my last week on trail, honestly, I'm just going to make my goal to finish the trail. There's only about 60 miles left, which sounds like, 60 miles in 7 days, no problem. But with this weather and logistics, I don't know. Not counting on anything. And I didn't. I think I should make a goal for post-AT life. And I just want to always appreciate things that I didn't have when I was on the trail. Like
an option of what clothes to put on in the morning, warm water to wash my hands, soap to wash my hands. Okay, yeah, I did have hand sanitizer, but still, just so many little things I appreciate now because I've had the experience of the trail. I never want to forget that. And now it's been a year and a half since I made that goal, 2 years since I started, and I think I have achieved that goal. Definitely, I don't have the same perspective of being fresh off the experience. I don't think, oh, thank goodness I don't have to put on wet shoes today when I wake up in the morning. But even today, like, I was feeling kind of tired, had a little headache, and I was like, well, at least all I'm doing today is sitting on a couch editing a video instead of hiking miles and miles. So I do think I have that spirit of thankfulness and remembering the conveniences of everyday living. A little channel announcement. A lot of you already know that I'm looking for AT hikers that are starting anywhere between February 28th through March 3rd to be in a documentary. I can only go down to Georgia one time, and I picked the weekend with the most people registered on atcamp.org. Hoping to get some interest. If you know anyone starting there, please pass on the word. I'll put the link to apply in the description. Thanks for watching, and happy hiking.